All right, this is going to be a video on how to research public interest employers, the nonprofits, using PSJD.org, the Public Service Jobs Directory. So if you go to PSJD.org, you will have to create a login. It is free. Use your school email address. I'm going to log in real quick. And from here, I'm going to hit Search Employers. When I start with this, PSJD is a list of all these different public interest employers that do legal work. So as you can see, there's thousands of entries, but they have ways to filter down your search to find out who does what and where. I tend to suggest starting with a location. So under location, you could put in your zip code and how many miles away, or you could put in a state or a city. For the purposes of example, let's just go pick DC, District of Columbia. And if we just start there, this 11,000 entries and hit search is gonna cut down a bit. So there are over 1,600 employers in DC that do some kind of public service legal work that are on this website. That's a lot to look through. Let's drill it down a little bit more. Let's say, after that, I could say, well, you know what I am interested in doing, and pick any one of these areas of law. I'm gonna say civil rights and hit search. This will cut down the list to 117 entries, much more palatable. So they'll give you the employer's name, where they're located. If it has a little book, that means there's a job notice, but public interest employers tend to be under-resourced and understaffed, so sometimes these job notices are a little out of date. That's why I use this less to look for jobs and more to look for employers and then find out more about them. So this first one, advancement project. If I click on an employer, it's going to just give me a description of what they do. They're a racial justice movement organization. Okay, they have around just a handful of lawyers. They do policy work around civil rights, economic development, and racial justice. Down here, it'll give me the information of the contact person for cover letters. However, this is often out of date as well. So trust but verify. Go see that this person still works there. Look on their website or their LinkedIn. Now over here, current job notices. Let's try. Let's see if they have any current notices. These are actually current. This is from 2024. Shocking. A lot of these would be from 2020, but they'll show these are like mostly post-grad positions. But it doesn't mean that they don't have internships. They just don't have them posted here. So I'm going to go back. If I wanted to save this employer for later, you just toggle on and off this little bookmark and it'll save in your list of favorites. Or you could use a link to their website to learn more about them and what they do. Almost always under About Us is where you'll find their careers page. And then from here, I could see if they list anything about internships. So they're showing all these other project work, but I don't see any internship listings here. That's okay. Some will have them, some won't. Curious if they have it anywhere else. But you can learn more about particularly the issues that they care about. Policing, decriminalization, voting rights. So maybe this is a great employer that you want to start working with or, be connected to. You can usually find their socials on their webpage. Let's see if it's at the bottom anywhere. You can sign up for an email address, socials, so you could follow them on your favorite social media to learn about, hey, we're doing this, we're having this event, or we're hiring this person, or you can just sign up for updates. But this is where I would go to find employers that interest me. So there's tons of these things. So advocates for trans equality, American atheists, these are just the A's, B's, and C's. So this is how I use this to find employers. Now, let's just say, I'm like, okay, this is great. I want to do this work, but that's still a lot of entries to look through. You can drill this down even further. You can look at ones that host postgraduate fellows, which is an entry-level job when you get out of law school. Or you could say, you know what? I only want to work for certain types of employers. Let's just say you're like, is there any law firms that are public interest that do civil rights work? Let's see. Much lower entries, but 12 entries. So here we have a couple of these specialty firms like Gupta Wessler. This is a highly specialized boutique firm that deals with very complex constitutional law issues. But if this is one you were interested in applying to, same thing. You learn about it, flag it. These are, they hire summer associates, right? So they actually have their summer associate posting right here, which is great. Or you could go to their website to learn about it. More about their firm and what they do, right? So let's see, I'm curious where they're people recruiting and alumni. Is this where we are currently accepting applications for a fellowship, an associate, a senior attorney. This is great. So learn about how you can apply for them, what they are looking for, They hire 2 Ls or 3 Ls between law school and graduation before clerkships. Okay, right. So this is it. This is how you start collecting ideas of employers that do the thing you want to do and do it where you want to do it. This is especially helpful if you're not planning on staying in the DC area, because you can use simplicity. You can look for jobs around here. We'll get lots of noticing postings about jobs in this area. But if you want to be out in California, right, you have to start being a little bit more self-oriented and look for jobs that are in the city or the place where you want to be. So again, PSJD, just a great way to get a quick blurb on what the employer does, if they do. So this group does litigation, class actions. They're not a policy shop. They're doing this through litigation. So these are the different ways you can find the people that do the things that you want to do.